I like that. Welcome to the I Never Worry podcast with DB and John, where we discuss emotional intelligence with everyday people dealing with everyday situations. We have yet another great episode in store for you today. You know, there are 3 reasons to me specifically why I think this episode is great. Number 1, because it's real. Number 2, because it's real. And number 3, because it's real. Real, and I say that because it's the second day that we recorded, and we are trying to figure out and navigate our way through some things. We get frustrated. We have to kind of try to practice using emotional intelligence and dealing with one another. So it makes it a great episode, and I think that you're really going to enjoy it. So without me talking, let's get into it, girl. Who is this back here bothering me?
Hi, it's Shania, and you're listening to DB and John on your I Never Worry podcast. Really, it's my dad and my cousin, but whatever.
Hey, I got your whatever for you, Miss Janaea. It's your I Never Worry podcast right now.
And today we got on our show Miss Nore Ken, our fitness expert. And we also got my man Ken Wilson, a.k.a. Joe the Boss Bolo. Welcome, you guys. Nore, what's going on?
Hey, thank you for having me today. It's an honor.
All right, Big Dog, what's happening with you, man? All right, and I appreciate you guys. So to put this in context, you know, the emotional intelligence platform, the I Never Worry podcast, is where we discuss emotional intelligence with everyday people about everyday situations. And I'm privileged and I'm honored to have a lot of good friends that will come and have a seat at the table with me to discuss this subject matter. And so, my guest today, we go back since we was yay high to a grasshopper. You know, we all, was raised in East Oakland and Brookfield, the concrete jungle. So if you're from Oakland or you know anything about Oakland, you know that in that area in the deep east in Brookfield, depending on what area you grew up in, could be in a very challenging space to exercise emotional intelligence. And so we're just going to have some conversation today, and we're going to talk to our folks at the table. So Big Dog, I'm going to start with you, man. Let's get warmed up. I want to ask you, man, what does emotional intelligence mean to you, Big Dog?
It could be a number of things.
Talk to us.
Emotional intelligence is being able to deal with your emotions in any type of aspect. That's what I get out of it,
Okay.
I've been around you. I've been around Big Cuz, even Nore, and Todd, who's sitting in the backfield. And coming from where we come from is a very struggle. And dealing with different things on the life and the past and the path and the course that we've been on is very, very emotional and challenging. I mean, we lose friends. We go through different upbringings. We go through different challenges of staying in commitment with our friends, the relationship with our friends, and the ups and downs that they might have as a challenge, and the ups and downs that you might have as challenges in your life. So emotional intelligence touches a lot of different things for me personally. So that's emotional intelligence for me for right now.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Big Dog. Nore, what does emotional intelligence mean to you?
Emotional intelligence for me was being able to control my reaction, when I was presented a difficult situation. And before I would get angry and blame somebody else for my reaction. And now I know that it's on me to remain emotional intelligent at all times. So I check myself constantly and keep that, on the forefront.
Absolutely. I mean, and definitely for me, for you, emotional intelligence for you, like, what does it mean for you?
You mean you want me to say it again?
I want you to say it every time we get on the mic, damn it. Was that emotional intelligence? Was that a lack
of? Hey, me I gotta learn how to produce a show, man. Hey, man, can we ask the questions, man? It's like
and that's what I love about EI. It happens in every moment. So if you're just tuning in, so Cuzzo, John Jr., he's our co-host on the show, but he's also the producer. He manages what's happening. So we going around the table asking questions. I catch him off guard, and that's the reaction that you hear. But so we're able to laugh about it, right? But, that's how quick energy changes. in the room. And so, as we're talking about, for me, it's hot in this room. We trying to manage the climate. I ain't figured out how to turn it down, right? But we all trying to keep ourselves in perspective in order to get through this interview. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it going. But emotional intelligence is really about managing your own emotions, but being able to skillfully respond to the emotions of others. Because we all know that is one thing to manage your own emotions and something else to be able to skillfully respond to the emotions of others. So, Nore, why does it even matter? Why does emotional intelligence even matter?
Well, it matters to me because I care about how I respond and react to my emotions. And I'm dealing with the public. I'm dealing with customers on a daily. So I need to be able to respond and not take things personal. So that's why it's important to me, and it matters when you're running a business and you dealing with people every day. You need to check your emotions at all times.
Yeah, absolutely, because they have an impact on your business,
yes.
Right? Yeah. What about you, big dog, and what you do every day?
I don't have a business. I'm a commercial driver, and I deal with a lot of people in the business, and having the knowledge of emotional intelligence plays a big part of different attitudes, different races, because you run into a lot of things. So the things that I do, going to different sites and everything and dealing with different people, some people wake up on the wrong side of the bed in the morning, and their attitudes and the way they portray you to be, you have to be very in tune with your emotions to deal with that. So emotional intelligence plays a big part in what I do. Like I say, I don't own no business, but I'm a commercial driver and I provide a service and to different people in different contexts. So emotional intelligence plays a big part in what I do.
Absolutely. I mean, you're on that road. I mean, how many times, the Prius swerve in front of you, you know what I mean? And you got to, exercise EI every time somebody cut in front of you or slow down in front of you, or when that load ain't ready and you thought you was getting off, at a certain time and you had to, there's a lot of reasons I could see how EI could play a part in that.
Yes. You man, true.
Yeah, and for me, I know it matters to me though, because I always talk about how just being a life changer for me, because, the way I used to respond to stuff whenever I got upset, it was just unhealthy, and it cost me a lot of money, it cost me my freedom. It cost me relationships, it has strained relationships with my children at times, with the person I'm in a relationship with, my ex-wife, my wife today. EI is everywhere. And so it's important for us to keep this skill set on the forefront of our mind.
Yes.
What you got there, Bolo?
I'm just in front of a mic. Really, I'm nervous, y'all.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
okay.
Big homie, you understand me? I get a lot of respect from these cats, but right now, I'm nervous with this emotional intelligence talking over this microphone. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, well, you know what though?
I'm gonna sit here and say that.
Yeah, let's talk about how you feel, though, right? That's important.
That's what one thing is emotional intelligence is being able to express how you feel. But let me tell the audience a little bit about Ken. Like Ken is a natural leader.
True.
There you go.
and he always has been a natural leader. Like whether we were in the hood, I've been standing outside and. Ken.
I'm the boss, y'all.
Yeah, that's Joe the boss. So you gotta tell that story.
Boss,
yeah,
and I like for it to run smooth.
Yeah.
I like for us to get along. But if we got problems, I like to be able to handle it in a certain way, But
especially as men.
Personally, as men and as family, that's what I get on. You know what I'm saying? I just got a knack for that. And emotional intelligence falls into it. I can get a call from DB in the morning time, and he'd be like, "What's up, big dog?" And I'd be like, "Man, dealing with emotional intelligence, keeping it in play every day, So that's me. But like right now, This is something new.
Really new.
Well, you know,
This is something
it's just
new.
it's just a conversation. So, like, man, just talk to us like you always talk to us.
But you know what's interesting though, but I'm gonna help it, you know, because Nore said the same thing Bolo said when I reached out, and I can only imagine what y'all told yourself when I said come on a podcast, right? So I'm gonna ask you that question because I know you had it was a little conflicted because you're like, well, what we gonna talk about? I'm not ready, right? But it's me, so you're like. But you're asking me on a friendship thing. So tell me about that feeling. I know it had to be a conflicted feeling. You start with you, Nore.
Yes, the feeling was conflicted because I wanted to be prepared.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I need to prepare for? And I wanted to be in control.
Right.
And then a little doubt and a little fear crept in. And then that's when I said, oh, no, you have to do this. When you fear something, push forward, push harder. So I was motivated to get here.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to expect. I was like...
What about you, big dog?
Man, I didn't even know what a podcast was. I gotta have my grandchildren help me with it. I ain't gonna sit here in front. All I want to do is work, keep love and joy going on, and that's it. But this here, whenever DB call, I'm coming, no matter what it was or what it is. But this podcast, I know what this is. I get up in here, I see microphones and stuff. You understand? I'm like, what?
But it was important to me though, right? To be blessed with the platform and the audience and the ability to do this, right? People always talk about don't forget where you come from, stay connected to the people, but as we grow and elevate, right, our reach and our bandwidth gets wider if you stay focused on what you're doing. And so for me, it was important. These are the first couple of episodes is to get my folks that I grew up with, the ones that I rely on. So Bolo might not be as vocal on the microphone, but he's definitely vocal when I give him a call. Because we hash out, it's like some old mafioso stuff though. When stuff need to be discussed, we got to call a big homie and run it and bounce it up off of him so that we make sure that we're making some good decisions, right? And as men, we've grown to rely on each other with that because, again, we're in our 40s, close to 50 now. We've been doing this since we was in our teens, you know what I mean? Working together. So we got, a bunch of testimony and story on why emotional intelligence is relevant today.
And let me tell you something that's interesting as Bolo comes in here, right? And he sees these mics. He talks about how he's a little bit intimidated, but it's all about like your environment, what you're used to, because I know back in the day, there were situations where I would be intimidated, but because Bolo was in front,
right?
You know what I'm saying? There goes his head, because it could be 30 cats with 32 guns,
right?
And Bolo's gonna be on the front line, like, hey, we need to get them guns from them,
right?
Like, you feel me? Like, it's so like, and it's just I think that's how life is, Bo. Like, there's some situations, even tonight, right now, if we step out this door, well, we gonna have to stand behind you. And you would kind of take the lead if it's an area that you're more comfortable with. So I think it's good to be nervous and to be intimidated in life. That's how you learn.
And we've learned.
I don't do microphones.
Yeah. But as we grown, but here's the thing about the emotion, what makes it powerful around that, because having that courage back then, right, to do the more riskier things, right, helps you have courage to do things now that are not, you may be a little bit intimidated, but it's not as risky. So even what Nore said, like, I had a fear of the unknown. I wanted to be prepared, but she learned to push through those fears. And I'm sure that it has to do with having to push through adversity, right, coming along the way. So he was able to draw from that skill set, which leads us to the skill of the day. Right. So our skill set for today is no matter the situation, never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. No matter the situation, never let emotions overpower your intelligence. Nore, when you hear that statement, what resonates with you, either personally or something you've witnessed when you hear no matter the situation, never let emotions overpower your intelligence?
Well, personally, I can relate because I've been in situations where someone said something to me and it was on me to react or to be the bigger person. So this is on a personal level. I need to be able to push forward and not let it get to me. Even if it does get to me, how I react is where my emotional intelligence kick in. So
for sure,
daily, that's what I'm telling myself as I'm getting dressed, headed out the door. If I'm feeling some type of way, learn how to not let that, come off to others, or, just emotionally, just stay stable.
Yeah, most definitely. Because